June is PTSD Awareness Month, and there are many people out there who need a little extra help when it comes to not only addressing it, but also find what works for them to take care of the problems that they may be suffering from. So right now we do have with us Tom Welsh. He's the Executive Vice President of BioCorRX. And thank you so much, Tom, for being here with us. I know that you guys have a new tool that's out there to help a lot of people who are suffering from PTSD, but let's just talk about that problem in itself, because some people might be even afraid to admit that they're suffering at this time.
Yeah, that's right. And as of the last count, I think we're at about 500,000 active military and veterans that suffered from the affliction of PTSD. And of those 500,000, 32+% suffer from substance use disorder. So you can imagine how difficult it is to treat individuals who have these co-occurring morbidities.
And you think about too, just sometimes these people who are suffering from PTSD, they might be, I don't want to say too proud, but it can be hard to even admit to your loved ones, to even those who are closest to you, let alone trying to find someone to help you with it, that you need a little bit of an extra hand.
Absolutely. And it's becoming increasingly more difficult with all the bottlenecking going on. There's a lot of well-meaning counselors and therapists that really want to help these individuals that work with the military, but the numbers are so high and so staggering that we're running into a logjam.
So let's just talk about what you guys have teamed up to help create to address this problem, and maybe even help some people work through these issues that they're having.
Yes, so 2B3D, the genius minds there have created the VRX, which is a metaverse platform that incorporates gamification into therapy. And it's pretty incredible. It's an immersive experience that's actually inviting for individuals so they want to show up. And it does actually allow for anonymity if they so choose. But there's really three significant pillars to this platform. There's a community space where there are peer support specialists and peers can interact, and they can work with each other 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is a free live therapist. Appointments can be scheduled for these individuals. I can't express how important it is to have consistency with your therapist. So if an individual's able to jump online and do it and schedule these appointments and not have to worry about driving to get to the therapist, it makes all the difference in the world for consistency of this therapy. And then finally, there's a 24/7 a crisis team available. And an individual can jump on and they're actually in a serene environment. And these crisis team members can help to really bring them down and curb their anxiety.
So when we're talking about VR, a lot of people think of the headsets that they're wearing and they're going to an amusement park and riding on a roller coaster. Talk about what these veterans, what these people are actually going to be seeing, because I know you said that there's different options out there for them to go and enjoy, especially if they are having an episode, something that can help kind of work them through that episode.
Yeah, exactly. And again, if you're walking into an environment where you're anxious and you have an ocean in the background and palm trees and a breeze going, it's certainly going to make a difference in the way that your perception is. And again, you're immersed in this metaverse. So it's really quite revolutionary what they're doing.
So talk about that metaverse aspect versus going to see a therapist, in person. What you've kind of seen with some of the people who've already been doing this, are they more open to sharing if they do feel like there's a little bit of protection to their identity?
Sure, absolutely, there can be. I think it's important that we're giving them the option to be anonymous and to express what they need to express to this therapist within those meetings. Part of what we do on the BioCorRX side is we're supplying a cognitive behavioral therapy program for those people who are suffering from the substance use disorder. So again, it's hard to treat someone for PTSD if they're also suffering from substance use disorder. So we've got a 35 module program that will be implemented into this universe, and they'll be able to actually pluck out portions of this module as NFTs and work with their therapists and their peers on this.
Well, and something that you mentioned to me as well is just how immediate the help can be for them to be able to just put on the headset and right away be able to talk with some of their own peers or maybe talk with someone from that crisis line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about the number of people that cancel their appointments because they're suffering from depression as a result of PTSD or of substance use disorder. So now it really is as simple as walking over, sitting down, putting on your headset, and having access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to someone who might be suffering the same thing you are.
And as you said too, sometimes going through the system and trying to work that way, it gets backlogged, or maybe then you get pushed back or you get rescheduled. So this is kind of solving some of those problems that veterans might be running into as well.
Yes, absolutely. And our whole goal obviously is to get people well and to cut back on the suicide rates. Actually, boy, wouldn't it be great to eliminate suicide altogether? I mean, I think the last stats I saw were 2019, where there were still over 6,200 veteran and military suicides, which is way too much.
So when we're talking about this problem, you know, these veterans are committing suicide because they aren't able to be able to address and work through some of the issues that they might be having. When you guys came together and you made this solution of let's start, you know, a different way to help address these problems, how did you kind of form what should be added in, what should be kind of left out? Because I'm sure there was a lot of ideas that were bouncing around.
Well, for us, on the substance use disorder side, it was simple. We've been working with independent physicians and centers all over the U.S. for over 10 years at BioCorRX with our beat addiction recovery program. So traditionally, we've used our medications, we've used cognitive behavioral therapy programs that we've designed, and we've used peer support with peer support apps. So as far as we were concerned, it was a no-brainer to take those cognitive behavioral therapy modules and put them into the metaverse so that they can be easily accessed by these individuals. As far as the PTSD side is concerned, there are a number of experts that 2B3D has worked with and that they've engaged with, so they really know what aspects to touch base on.
So when people are listening in and they might be thinking, hey, this could be one more way I could try to work through some of the PTSD that I've been suffering from, how do you kind of help walk them through, you know, here's what we do and here's how you get your hands on it? Because as we've said, you know, this could just be one more option of a way to try to see if it works for you, because not everyone's always the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully Q4, 2B3D will be launching this officially, and they'll be doing a outreach program to let veterans and active military know that this is available, that this is easy to access and at their fingertips, and it's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, and everyone kind of starting to get into that metaverse, so it's only good to see that it's not going to be just somewhere to escape to have fun. It can be somewhere where you can go and still work on some self-progress as well.
Absolutely. And then, you know, our ultimate goal would be to have the individual go see their doctor, go get their medication, whether it be one of the medications BioCorRX is currently taking through FDA approval or whatever their doctor prescribes, get their VR goggles and their headset and send them home so they could start their behavioral wellness journey.
Yeah, I'm sure that's something too. A lot of people wonder is, you know, if you're just having them go online, how are they going to get help on the outside world too? But it's all part of working together. It's not just one solution. I mean, there's so many parts when it comes to addressing PTSD.
Yep, it's all about streamlining the solution as well and making it accessible and removing as many hurdles as we can.
So as people are learning a little bit more about your companies that have teamed up here together, anything you think important to mention when it comes to talking about this new tool to help people, especially as you mentioned, when they could be something so immediate that they needed to address right in that moment, you know, right in that night terror or right there and that when they're having, you know, some problems with reaching for those substances.
Yeah, it sounds cliche, but you're not alone. Reach out. There are other people that feel the way you do and they understand and they've gotten through it and they're there to help. And we've got experts there to help. You have to reach out. That's the most important thing you can do. You're not going to be able to do it on your own. Work with the experts.
Right. And as you mentioned, I mean, it's just one more way that we can all try to help bring more awareness to these issues, especially when it comes to helping care for our veterans after they're home and they need just a little extra helping hand. This could just be one more way that we can reach out that hand to them.
That's exactly right. When they sign up for the military, they're signing up to take care of us. It's our turn to take care of them.
Right. And just this could be one more way to do so. I'm excited to see once that outreach happens, once more veterans are getting these VR sets in their hands. So again, Tom Welsh here with us with BioCorRX. Thank you so much for explaining a little bit more into what this tool is. And hopefully some people can find it helpful and also work through those issues that they may be facing here today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for getting the word out.